Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor. Kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, Gavin Newsom, California Governor, well, not for long, Gavin Newsom, him and his wife are being investigated by the DOJ. Gavin Newsom, he's brushing it off, but, you know, most folks in the Democratic Party, they're a bit worried because it's looking like he will be making a bid for 2028 to run for president. Now, he has not mentioned that whatsoever, but just the way he's been in the media, going from state to state and, you know, doing these forums and whatnot, is definitely showing that he is sparking some interest in running for higher office. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Also, we're going to talk parenting. Now, I'm not a parent. I happen to have a dog, so you can consider me a dog parent. But former NFL star Brandon Marshall, who's also a turned media mogul, he's facing some backlash for the way he disciplines his kids. And a video surfaced where he is seen forcing his son to get up early morning on a run, and that's his way of disciplining. So we'll talk a little more about that as well. And what else do we have on the chopping? AEW. I think it's called All Elite Wrestling, which is it's the competitor to WWE, but it's really like your only, like you have WWE and then you have AEW, and AEW has been holding their own pretty good. Now, are they on the level of WWE as far as popularity status, money status? No, but you have a lot of big names that have joined AEW, and AEW is not decreasing, is growing each and every year. New news shows that they are heading to Tubi. They'll be having a free channel on the free streaming platform Tubi, so they now have a streaming option for AEW, which is good stuff. And also, if I have some time, I want to talk about this. Are socialist Democrats the future of the party? I'll ask you, I'll say it again. Are socialist Democrats the future of the Democratic Party? And you'll understand why I speak on that too later on. But as always, my friends, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into yet another great conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show. This is episode 614. That's right, 614 ways you can tune into the show, because you know we drop new episodes weeknights on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, just to name a few. You can also check us out on Rumble. And you can also check us out on the radio airwaves. Shout out to our affiliates. Our first affiliate out in New Orleans, WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that is WBOK 1230 AM. Weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then we're going to head over to Las Vegas to KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. You can chime into the show Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific. Again, that's on KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. We got a lot of great stuff in store for you all, and check this out, y'all. Our channel is continuing to grow and grow and grow. If you have not done so yet, please do me a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All you have to do is just hit subscribe if you have not done so yet. Share with the friends, share with family, those that are looking for some great content. Keep them up to speed on entertainment news, political news, sports news, you name it, just something to, we have fun on this show, and we also respect conversation. We don't just continue to have folks from opposing sides and we yell at each other. No, we don't do that. We actually sit down, have a conversation. Yeah, do we agree to disagree? Absolutely. But that's normal. That's America. We live in a melting pot full of different views, religions, and opinions, and you name it. So I wanted to continue to spread the good word of this program, and if you can be so kind to just share amongst your inner circle of friends, and subscribe. We have a goal to hit 5,000 subscribers, and by the end of the year, and so we want to continue to hopefully exceed that goal. But as of right now, we want to get close, and we are growing. I think we added like almost 8 new subscribers the other day. So we again, it just keeps on booming, 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 and I couldn't do it without you all. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And excuse me, as you probably hear me clearing up my throat from time to time. I feel like a little something coming up. But I also want to brag to you all too. I want to show off I just got my merch in the mail of my New York Knicks. Look at that. Look at those beauties right there. Ooh, got my shirt and my hat. My shirt and my hat. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. So yeah, I'm excited about that. For one, I gotta try on the shirt too, because your boy I ain't been in the gym for a minute, so hopefully it can fit. Because I think I'm this size, and the worst feeling is to like put on the shirt knowing that, okay, this is the size I wear, and then you put that on, that thing feel like two sizes smaller, and you're like, damn, I got to lose some calories, I got to lose some lbs, you know what I mean? And so but I'm hype. I mean, look at that hat, by the way. Just look at that gold trim. Look at that gold. That's a nice hat. That's a nice hat right there. At first I had to think on it, because I'm like I'm getting it regardless, because of this is a monumental moment for New York, but it's a lot of white. Okay. And I don't know how, me personally, I always like to coordinate really good. So like that black and gold trim doesn't really clash with the New York Knicks emblem in the middle. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would like to speak with the designer of that, because I'm like, eh. We got to talk. We got to talk on that. What else do we have? I think that's pretty much it. What is there anything else that popped up? I'm trying to think, because I always have last minute moments that will pop up to my head, be like, hey, about this, about that. No, I got nothing right now. So what we're gonna head to a commercial break. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. We're gonna take a commercial break. When we come back, we got more for you. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in
this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
I'm Aaron Phillips. Join me Saturdays at 12:30 as I host The Voice of 757. I'll share news, events, happenings, and the people that shape the 757. That's The Voice of 757, Saturday afternoon at 12:30 right here on Sky 4.
What's happening, my friends? All right, welcome back to the show. So let's get it going with our first story. In VA, there is a controversial state senator happening to be making a political comeback, which we've seen that happen in the past. I remember reading about Anthony Weiner, who is a former congressman out of New York who faced major scandal, and a scandal I would say quite similar to this next gentleman I'm going to be speaking of. But Anthony Weiner, you can read up on him. I'm not going to, again, share. It was a scandal that involved some jail time with him, and it wasn't looking good for. I'll just say that it ended up getting divorced, ruined his marriage, ruined his political career because he was a popular individual Democrat, specifically in Congress at the time, and he lost all that. He then went on, to he returned back to the limelight. He joined primarily conservative talk radio station out in New York, and he's been on there for a while. I think he's still on there. And then he tried to attempt a political comeback and didn't work out. So I share all that because this gentleman here, former state senator, former Virginia state senator Joe Morrissey, a man surrounded by controversy, eyes a Petersburg City Council seat. This is reported by WRIC, ABC affiliate out in from Richmond, VA. And let me see if I can, for those who are watching, if I have a graphic I can actually provide you all so I can put a face to who. Here we go. Perfect. All right, so let me go ahead and read you this here. There we go. Okay, so he had recently announced, a former state senator announced that he is running for Petersburg City Council, hoping to represent Ward 5 as its city councilor. Now, Morrissey has been removed from politics for the last few years after he lost his Senate election. Bid to Senator Latrice Aird, I believe I pronounced that right. I apologize if I did not. His exit was preceded by a string of controversies, several involving violence. It says here he assaulted multiple lawyers in a courthouse during his time as an attorney, later being disbarred amid accusations of forgery and perjury. This perjury is related to Morrissey's relationship with his then 17-year-old assistant, which led to his conviction on charges of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. He later married his assistant, who was 17 at the time. The assistant that was involved in this, he later married her and had several children with her. However, they have since divorced following accusations of child abuse, infidelity, and manipulation. Morrissey later filed a defamation suit against Richmond private investigator Jimmy Lee Jarvis after, in response to this reporting, Jarvis called Morrissey a violent thug, a liar, and a sexual predator. Morrissey later lost this lawsuit, with the judge saying Jarvis' statement was overwhelmingly true and made a factual basis. Wow. Says here, Morrissey, in a recent statement, Morrissey said that if Petersburg voters choose to elect him, he will focus on 4 things as Ward 5 city councilor. He listed the following priorities: fixing the antiquated sewer and water lines, many of which are over 100 years old. He said fixing the water meter fiasco that has been plaguing Petersburg for nearly 20 years. Restoring Petersburg's financial health and stability. It says here the city was on the verge of bankruptcy. And then he also put lowering the property tax rate by 0.03. Now, so by 3 cents. He further emphasizes what he accomplished for the city of Petersburg as a state senator, including tearing down the Ramada Inn, single-handedly bringing the casino to Petersburg, and expanding the footprint of the Petersburg Pharmaceutical Ingredients campus. I have a background in economics, chemistry, and business, and will put all 3 to use to help steer the Petersburg government in a business-like fashion. Morrissey's competition for Ward's seat is the incumbent W. Howard Myers, who is in his second 4-year term serving as a city council member. He is also a former mayor of Petersburg. The interesting thing is I'm going to try and reach out to excuse me, I'm going to try and reach out to the former state senator because, again, with I want to say a career filled with a lot of controversy, more than 2 occasions. To not just to add to that, he's been a long-time Democrat. He left the party at one point and was an independent. I believe he joined the party again as a Democrat. Most local races usually run nonpartisan races, but at the end of the day, we know for sure what lines they lean towards because local elected officials or local candidates are endorsed by their local city parties. So you kind of put a mindset of exactly, okay, who they lean towards and so on and so on. Morrissey is also an individual who was a Democrat that was not shy away from having the conversation amongst people on the other side of the aisle. He's a regular guest on John Fredericks. Yes, John Fredericks, who is a conservative talk radio host and owns a few radio stations in the state of Virginia. I believe it's mostly is Virginia and outside of the state of Virginia. He's also he has a program on a far right channel, a far right conservative channel, and he's worked on with the Trump campaign. I say all that to say Morrissey has, I guess, close ties with conservatives, which people shouldn't care because they're like, okay, look, it shows that he can have a conversation with people on the opposing side rather than saying, oh, I can't have friends from opposing views. But he's, a regular on there. I believe he hosted a radio program called Fighting with Joe Morrissey or something like that, or Fighting Joe, something of that nature. He had a long time radio program on that station, John Frederick station. And so with that being said, with the controversy, and look, I personally, if he is criticized, now this is just a local race, but still, I'm just using it as an example. If he is criticized because of his controversy, then again, my friends, I bring up what's happening in Maine. Excuse me. I bring up what's happening in Maine with Graham Plattner, who's running for U.S. Senate. he has controversy, yet he is still very supported by the Democratic Party. He's endorsed by Congressman Ro Khanna, Senator Bernie Sanders. He is still supported, and everybody's like, nope, he has to, like, Nazi tattoo. Oh no, don't worry about that. That was old stuff. He's good now. Infidelity issue. Oh, don't worry about that. Folks has criticized him being, I believe, not a nice boss or leader on staff. Like staffers have talking, bad about. So it's just like there's so much controversy. He's also said some off the wall stuff on Reddit. I'm talking about Plattner here. So with all that controversy, again, Morrissey's no angel either. He's had a lot of controversy as well. I wonder in this case, will people ignore the controversy as past news and say, well, look, we are desperate here for some new leadership, right? We're desperate to see some changes here in Ward 5. Will they lean towards him? I also find it interesting where elected officials, and I hate to always make it like, oh, there's different level, because there is different levels of politics, but it's like, he's demoting himself because he was representing his community in Richmond, and now he's dropping down to just on a local city. Look, I know personally folks that have served as a state senator that has come down to run for mayor of their city, right? I've seen people that have run for Congress, that served in Congress, that ran for city council as well. So sometimes it's just, a smart person will probably say, look, I'm not trying to go to DC. I want to stay home in my backyard making a difference here. It's not about money for me. It's about the service. It's about the people. It's about the community. So I think this would be quite interesting to see how that race goes. I would love to get connected with his campaign team and hopefully have him on to hear from his words in regards to the reason for him running for city council. Why is he? Because he at one point wanted again to run for a higher office, and he's like saying, no, I think this was the highest peak I can go, but now I want to also continue to make a difference by bringing in the knowledge I learned in Richmond to Petersburg. And it's true, Petersburg is a growing city. You're talking about the home of, I want to say, Virginia State University is in Petersburg. There's a bunch of universities, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. I know Petersburg is the main one I could think of at the moment. Where's Union at? Where is okay, no. So Petersburg is the very first thing I can think of, but they're also adding on a casino, which casinos can always be pretty iffy. Casinos now is like a new trend in states and cities that are not quite like, a Vegas. They're saying, hey, what's a good way to bring revenue to the area? Casinos. Now, you get your old school folks is like, oh, this is just not fair because casinos lead to addiction and it doesn't help build a community. It hurts your community more. I am 50-50. Why? Because look, we have bars, sports bars. You have tobacco and vape shops opening left and right. Why the hell not have casinos? Casinos, they have event spaces attached to them. So now you have entertainment venue. You have a place that's open 24/7. So it brings more jobs for folks. You have restaurants. Yeah. People out there might have a gambling issue, but there's some people that actually truly enjoy gambling. They love the fun of it. They love to go there, watch a game, and then, oh, look, I'm going to grab a drink. I'm going to hopefully get lucky. I mean, we already got lottery tickets. What's going to hurt about a casino? So me personally, I'm not all the way against. I would say I'm maybe 60-40 with the casinos. Personally, I think I'm 60-40 in favor. I mean, 60% in favor, 40% not in favor of casinos. Because I do understand like what it can do, but as long as for me, if I see casinos bringing some of that revenue that they've brought in and spread it out to the community, right? Whether it's helping out other initiatives, stuff like that. I see that being, because that's what builds up a city. I mean, look at Las Vegas. Las Vegas has it's filled with casinos, filled with entertainment. It's the entertainment and sports capital of the world. My good friend Mark Hayes, general manager of KSHP. I mean, he told me, we were having a conversation. He said, "Look, not only are we is Las Vegas the capital of entertainment, but it's also going to be the sports capital of the world. When you have the Las Vegas Aces, who won multiple WNBA titles, you have the Knights out there in yes, you have the Knights of the hockey team that's competed in the Stanley Cup multiple times in their young years of being in existence. You have the LA Rams now. You have the you have the Las Vegas Raiders. You have soccer, baseball. You got so many. You got universities as well. You got so much stuff out there. So it's pretty dope. But yeah, we're gonna keep in touch. We're gonna keep a close eye on this race, because as I mentioned, Morrissey is a controversial guy, filled with controversy. So I'll be looking forward to trying reaching out to him and seeing if we can schedule him and get him on the show. My friends, let's go ahead and digress from this convo and move on to another story here. So we're gonna talk about some parenting. So Brandon Marshall, which is it's funny when I saw the story, because I actually I had my wife and I were talking about Brandon Marshall not too long ago, because we enjoy watching. It's a podcast that we both enjoy called the Pivot Podcast. It's hosted by co-hosted by Ryan Clark, ESPN commentator, former NFL star, Super Bowl winning champ. He played, I believe, 13 or 14 years, got a ring with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And but really, I enjoy him as a sports. I just spit all on my mic. He is a sharp sports commentator. I've always enjoyed hearing his take on things, and he's great at the Pivot Podcast. His co-host, former NFL star Fred Taylor, former running back, and then also former NFL linebacker Channing Crowder. This show was built after Channing Crowder and Fred Taylor left a show called I Am Athlete that was created by Brandon Marshall. And Brandon Marshall, former NFL wide receiver, former star, he also went into the sports commentating. I believe he has an Emmy as well. When he was a part of the team for Inside the NFL, and he started this program called I Am Athlete. It was dope. It was really cool. It was on a successful run, and then it didn't pan out on the long run for them. You had two of your favorite folks up there end up leaving, and they started their own and brought in Ryan Clark. So, but Brandon Marshall's still doing good. He's not depressed over that, all that good stuff. He's doing good for himself. Anyway, he faced a little criticism on social media because he showed his son. It was a video of him disciplining his son who got in trouble, and he said, "Hello, we gonna get up." He woke him up at 2 a.m. and took him out there running. He's like, "If you don't learn your lesson, we're gonna run up to 3 miles, 2 a.m." Now, I believe I don't know how old his son is. He looks like he's maybe, if I had to guess, he might be, I don't know, 12. He's a preteen for sure. He's not a teenager, but he's a preteen. But let me go ahead and see if I can share you a bit of the video clip, and I'll share my take on this whole story.
It's no different than when we were in LA, Santa Monica, running at midnight on the pier. We wanted to do that. We love to do that. And then there's correction, then there's discipline. You're walking, run. Discipline, correction is good. Even 2 a.m, we run. I don't got to put my hands on you, but I'm training you up to be a warrior. I'm training you to be a leader, to serve, to have discipline, to be better than me. Run. Let's go. If you don't start running, we're going to go 3 miles. So you better start running because you don't know when I'm going to tell you to stop. You don't want to listen? We run. We work. 2 a.m. Let's go. Faster. I'm driving 3 miles per hour. You should be going at 8 or 9 miles per hour right now. Go. It's no different than when we.
So I got a lot of takeaways. Oh, is there?
I promise you, we're going all the way to the gas station, which is 3 miles. Down and back is 3 miles. I'm at 4 miles. I'm at 5. I'm at 6. There we go. Now we moving. Run. Discipline. That's how you gonna learn it. Come on.
So I got a lot of takeaways from this. Okay. So, do I think that Brandon Marshall should be criticized for tough parenting? No, absolutely not. I don't think, and again, call me a hypocrite or call me like, Arrington, what do you know? Because you're not a parent, X, Y, and Z. I get it. But I personally do not think he should be criticized for his style of parenting. Because here's the thing. The way I was raised, the way I was disciplined was a belt or a hand. And was it abuse? Absolutely not. It was discipline. If I got out the way, if I talked back, if I got in trouble, my mom got that hand or got that belt, and guess what? I learned my lesson. I might have got that same discipline maybe a couple of times after that, but those few times I learned my lesson. And I can tell you this, my folks never had to worry about cops coming to the house or me getting, involved in anything stupid because my folks disciplined me. And it wasn't discipline out of hate and abuse. It was discipline out of, we're preparing you for the world ahead. We're preparing you for when you get older, you know what is right and what is wrong. Y'all, we have a lot of, I won't say a lot of parents, but there's stories, we witness stories where we see these teens, these preteens, I'm talking fighting their own parents, fighting teachers, fist fighting their teachers. Where does all, and you can say, hey, look, it all starts from home, because it absolutely does. Lack of discipline. Could be abuse from the house, or it starts from home. Okay. So when I see these clips of kids getting in trouble or kids being involved in crime at a young age, robbing, stealing, doing stupid stuff, okay, lack of discipline. Now, Brandon Marshall, he's disciplining his kid, who, again, I'm guessing his age as a preteen. He could be 12. He could be, I don't know. He could be 10. I'm gonna just say between that age bracket. He's disciplining his kid by preventing him from getting something that everybody loves, sleep. He said, we waking up early in the morning, because who, as a kid, waking up at 2 a.m.? Oh, hell no. So he woke him up at 2 a.m. He said, no, we gonna run. We gonna run. No walking, running. We ain't walking, running. And if you don't run any faster now, we gonna make it to 3 miles. Now, as a kid his age, 3 miles feel like you running forever. Okay, remember back in school when we had those mile runs? Oh, I hated it. And I'm like, is the mile over yet? Because as a kid, you really didn't what's the word? You didn't equivalent how far a mile really was. And so now, now a mile is fine. I mean, even if you don't even like to run a mile, it's not that bad. But excuse me, him as a little kid, that miles, he's already tired too, so he just doing his running and whatnot. But I will say what I do disagree with, and I just think that's how Brandon Marshall is. Because Brandon Marshall, and don't take this as a personal attack. I used to get kind of like that arrogancy from him, even when I watched the show I'm Athlete, when he's a commentating and stuff. I get arrogancy. So here's where I'm going with this. You don't need to promote your stuff all the time on social media. You don't have to always showcase your your, like, to me it's like he wants to, you can video record you displaying your kid and then say, okay, I saved this for when he gets older, but you posting this on social media, eh, I'm not too crazy about that. Like, you don't have to always show your business. So what do you want, a trophy saying that that's how the way you should discipline your kids? Like, what was the point of you showing the world and your followers, hey, look, my kid did something bad and like, come on now. Like, my mom did not tell the world, or my folks did not tell the world when they were about to discipline me. Okay. So when I see him recording it, I think that's a bit tacky. I think that's a bit over the top. But again, I mean, that's Brandon Marshall. That's on brand for him. That is very much, on brand, because he probably wants to receive the feedback and I don't know, but I'm not a fan of you promoting, because I feel like you have an agenda when you do that. But to say that you're a bad parent for the way you discipline your kid, that I do not agree with. I think you were, especially as a black man in 2026, folks now are really trying to move away from spanking and and physically disciplining their children like that. But everybody's different. I know a family that never spanked their kids, and you know what? Them kids got they, not all of them, but a good number of them, the majority of them, they became little hellions. The older they got into some trouble. The older they got, now it's a work in progress. And I'm just saying, sometimes a little pat on that booty when you when you're young, or just, again, when you low-key show the fear of God in your children at a young age, they will understand when they get older. I ain't trying to get my folks' bad side. They will do this. Start them while they're young, and then see how it goes from there. That's just me. That's just my 2 cents. And then let's kind of stay in this parenting. Let's stay in this conversation of parenting. So Shaquille O'Neal. Now, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but when I saw it, I'm like, well, I can kind of add this to this story. So y'all know Shaquille O'Neal is a very successful businessman, right? We're one of the greatest basketball players of all time, a very successful commentator, like, as I mentioned, businessman. Shaquille O'Neal has a net worth of close to 700, I believe. $700 million is what they're saying, roughly between $500 and $700 million. So he has 3 kids. Shaquille O'Neal said, no degrees, no cheese. I remember he said that in an interview. No degrees, no cheese. Meaning, if you don't have degrees, you're not getting the cheese. Cheese meaning the money. He's saying he says apparently his kids need at least 3 degrees, whether that's a master's, what goes on there? I mean, excuse me, a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate, or you can have 2 masters, and then like he's motivating his children to, no, we have high standards. You need to get that education, because sports is not always going to be there, but no one can take away your mind, your brain, your education value, your degrees. No one can take that away from you. So when I look at this, I think that's also quite inspiring. Now, personally, if I had $700 million, and I'll just say, if I was Shaquille O'Neal, right? If I had 3 kids, $700 million, I'm satisfied with a bachelor's. And maybe that's because that's the highest education level that I have conquered. Now, my wife, she has her master's. She's much smarter than me. She could have probably pursued a higher office than that, but I mean, higher education than that. But that stuff takes time and money, and it's a process. But if I'm not ashamed, I don't care about, like, when folks say, oh, nepotism. Well, I mean, folks work hard so that they can make it an easier life for their children. Now, I'm just saying, I'm not going to say they cannot work at all. They do have to, develop their own form of money. You don't have to, if whether if it's a high paying position or whether if it's a position where it's like, hey, look, it might require a roommate for a short period, or I might have to require, I might have to rent first and then build more. Look, that's life. But if I have 700 million, you damn right I'm gonna, pass that on to my children, whether that's, developing a trust or whatever. And I'm not saying he doesn't give any money to his kids. I'm not saying that at all, because we don't know that. That's between them and what goes on in their home. I definitely know that he probably compensates his children or has something in an account, all that good stuff. But he's just saying in general, in order to motivate my children to better themselves, is that, hey, look, I need you all to focus on the education piece. And I ain't mad at Shaq. Shaq is always doing stuff that I think is quite inspiring and definitely gets folks thinking. Let's go ahead and move it on to, because I'm looking at my time here. What do I want to talk? Let's talk about Gavin Newsom. And excuse me if I'm kind of brushing through these stories here, but I want to try and get through all of it if I can. So Gavin Newsom and his wife are currently under a DOJ investigation now. This is reported by The Hill. Says here Newsom brushes off the probe as Democrats worry it will hurt him in 2028. Now, I've said this time and time again, I personally don't think the Democrats should put all their coins or bet all their money on Gavin Newsom running for president, or I'm sorry, Gavin Newsom becoming the next president. Now, is he going to run? For sure. Will America want to see him serve as president of the United States? I don't really think so. I personally think that somebody coming from California is just not gonna cut it for the United States. California, the most expensive state in the world, most expensive state in the US for sure. Homeless rate is on the sky high, right? It's just California got so much stuff, in my opinion. They had a California elected official that came from there that tried to run for president that didn't win out. The last person, to my understanding, that served as president for the state that served as president of the United States that came from California was Ronald Reagan, and that was a long time ago. Okay, now again, California is, I think, a little too liberal for the United States. I just don't see them saying, how can a California elected official relate to issues happening where we're at, right, in the Midwest or East Coast issues. Me personally, I don't see that. But let me talk more about this. The DOJ investigation involving California Governor Gavin Newsom and his wife could pose a challenge for him if he does decide to run for president of the United States in 2028. Now, while the probes are in their early stages, some Democrats are already wondering whether they could tarnish Newsom's image even before he would enter the race, giving Republicans an opening to define him. Now, Republicans are not in a good chance as well. They're not in the good space either, because you got to look at their top two contenders. Number one is going to be J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is already, in my opinion, on his little kind of poking his toe in that race, because he just published or wrote a new book where he was on his media tour. Now, personally, I'm like, okay, you're a VP and you're current vice president and you're promoting a book when you have the time to write a book. I'm not a fan of any politician, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care for any politician that is I guess doing their own branding and promoting of their own merch while they're in office. I don't know why. It just kind of it makes me feel, it makes you cringe a little bit. The concerns for Newsom supporters is not the substance of any angle investigation, but whether the allegations and headlines take on a life of its own. Strategists point to controversy in recent presidential cycles that overtook candidates' message, including in the 2026 when Hillary Clinton's campaign was besieged with news stories about official government email sent over a personal server. During the campaign, Clinton's emails became part of the consistent narrative used by President Trump and his allies to batter the Democrat. During former President Biden's most recent campaign against Trump, Republicans sought to make hay of his son, Hunter Biden, and his business dealings, using that as an example of then president's judgment and honesty. Now, in Newsom's case, even if the probes remain fruitless, his opponents will underscore the fact that he is weighed down by investigations, which could inevitably be a drag on the campaign. Now, Newsom obviously has been saying this is all a personal attack on somebody who is looked upon as a rival of the president. He has criticized the president. He has trolled him through social media, and we have seen this president and this administration do their get back tour and go after every person they looked upon as an enemy, every person that has disagreed with him, insulted him. He's finding ways to get back at him. Even media networks, he's finding friends that has a lot of money to buy them out. So we look at this. It says here, while Trump's DOJ has been the subject of scrutiny, with Democrats accusing Trump of going after his political opponents, it's still the DOJ, say some Democrats. It's still a DOJ investigation, which take precious time, attention, and resource away from Newsom's campaign. Democratic strategist Rondell Milano told The Hill a sentiment other Democrats are expressing privately. Democratic strategist Jamal Simmons said any investigation sucks up time and emotional energy, but he added that Newsom is blessed by Trump's injecting politics into the DOJ. The more openly political DOJ has changed the environment, and fighting Trump is always a winner with the Democratic base. Newsom can leverage Trump's DOJ attacks to rally Democrats to his side. Very true. Because you can always, look, that's what's helped Trump throughout his time running for office, because he's always like, see, they're against me. See, they're trying to take me down. You got these assassination attempts. You got all these investigations that they're just trying to take me down, and I'm still standing. So why not have that same mindset, Gavin Newsom, right, to help you with your campaign? Why not say, look, they're trying to take me down, and when you're doing so good, when you're winning, what they try to find ways to bring, look, smear campaigns, that's politics 101. So we will see how far this goes, because I'm even trying to figure out what are they investigating for. Separately, some Democrats predict his opponents. I am okay. Says here, oh, that's right, because a member from his team. Okay, so says here, separately, some Democrats predict that his opponents will also inevitably tie him to his former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, who last month accepted a plea deal after she was accused of campaigning finance fraud, political corruption, and tax fraud. Gil Duran, who served as an advisor to several California Democratic politicians, including former Governor Jerry Brown, the late Senator Dianne Feinstein, and former Vice President Kamala Harris, said the outcome remains to be seen, saying that the public doesn't know the full scope of what the investigation is targeting. We did have some massive corruption scandal which turned around to be true. We don't know the degree to which those cases led to other cases. So it looks here. Let me tell you. To my guess, there's two things. There's one, the fact that your chief of staff was involved in a crime. Your chief of staff, who is your chief of staff, the command, the leader of your full entire staff. So for them to get in trouble, something does raise some eyebrows, right? I mean, we saw what Eric Adams, and we've seen it in politics prior. But is this also a get back? For sure. It's still an ongoing investigation. So you don't know what will happen. But I guess the big question is, do y'all think this will hurt Newsom's chances in 2028? I'll leave you with that question. And we have probably like 6 minutes. Yeah, we got about less than 8 minutes left into the show. So I want to try and get at least one more story in. Let's go finish it off on a light note. Tubi AEW has recently announced that they are heading to Tubi, the free streaming platform. They're going to be starting what they call a fast channel, where you can just binge old. I don't think they'll be just an archive of past AEW shows. Says here that AEW content recently started popping up on Tubi, and now the promotion has officially launched its own channel to the Fox own service. Fans took notice that 101 episodes from 2019 and 2020 and 2021 were now available to watch on Tubi. AEW sent an official announcement regarding the free VOD content along with announcing the Watch AEW Fast, which is a free ad-supported television channel, has launched on Tubi as well. AE fans, I'm reading this quote. It says, AE fans, your favorite promotional wrestling is now available on Tubi. Check out the Watch AEW Fast channel, absolutely free everywhere that Tubi is available. Plus, stream the first 3 seasons of AEW Dynamite anytime, completely free, now on Tubi. I'm gonna tell you why I think this is pretty dope, and because excuse me, told you guys I'm trying to fight this. If you want to watch a full archive of WWE, right? Even the recent pay-per-views. If you want to watch the library of WWE, you have got to be a subscriber to Netflix. If you're not, which will blow my mind, if anybody in America does not have Netflix, y'all will shock the hell out of me. But if you want to watch that, you have to have subscription with Netflix, because Netflix now not only shows WWE Raw live, but they will show past episodes of the platform. Now, I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed when WWE was on Peacock, because what they did was you had the option to see the old library of WWE, and you can watch a live pay-per-view on WWE. Now, obviously, Netflix is a much larger streaming company. To me, it's like the mecca of all streaming networks and platforms. So this was a much bigger opportunity for WWE. Now, what I love about AEW is that AEW, they will forever be far behind, in my opinion, from WWE, but they're always going to be that competitor that's going to put up a fight, because they are growing just as much as WWE is growing. Now, they don't have that. I don't think they have a large international presence like WWE, but I've been to a live show. It's dope. You have a lot of the past stars. I mean, Chris Jericho has not left AEW's site, to my understanding. You had Shelton Benjamin, MVP, Bobby Lashley, you got Christian, you got Edge, Sting was a part of that lineup. Road Dogg is now a part of that lineup. Cody Rhodes made a huge name for himself. I mean, there's a large presence of former WWE wrestlers that love AEW, and really they look at AEW as a platform that actually treats their talent with respect, better pay, better rest days. Like they prefer them than WWE. Now, before we go, I saw this on social media. I'm like, oh, okay, I want to talk about this real quick. On social media, they ask, which contract are you signing? Now, I'll read this to you. Okay, so you have the WWE contract states that it will be a 3-year, $1 million salary. Your role will be a mid-carder, so you're not going to be a main card, but just like, again, like, you know, an opener for the main card, or just right in the middle. You will have a mentor from Hall of Famer AJ Styles, and the bonus will be 1 world title run. Okay, or 1 world title run. So, real quickly, 3 years, $1 million. Your role will not be the big name, but you'll be a mid-carder, mentored by one of the greats, and you're guaranteed a 1 world title run. And that could be the heavyweight title, that could be tag team title, that's any title. Now, AEW's contract says it will be 5 years, $1.2 million. Your role will be a main eventer. Your mentor will be Chris Jericho, and your bonus will be you keep all the money from your merch sales. Now, if this contract is a legit kind of replica of what AEW offers their talent, I ain't gonna lie. That's a heck of a deal, isn't it? I will have to go. Now, see, the only thing that worries me is, like, what's going to be the longevity for AEW? Will AEW eventually, you know, fold in the long run? I don't want to wish that, but will they ever fold and then get bought out by WWE? Because it has happened. Look, WCW, right? What happened to them? Folded pretty much. They couldn't compete, and they got bought out by their comp. TNA tried. Okay, so there's been a number of companies that could not compete with WWE. Now, WWE probably offers contracts like that because of the number of people that they bring on. But again, AEW, and look at the contracts that they're on too. I think they air on USA. They're now on Tubi, so you can see them on the streamers as well. So it's back and forth. But I don't know. Which one would y'all think? I mean, 5 years is long, but again, you're thinking of the extra money and a main eventer. So you can probably, now would AEW be a good starter? And then if someone says, hey, look, I think I want to take my chances to WWE, because that also happened as well. I forget the lady's name, but she's like a tall female, like Amazon athlete who made her name known in AEW, and then she left and signed with WWE. And now she's continuing to, you know, still be a big star, but she does somewhat share the stage with other people. So she's not like the top tier, but she is very popular. My friends, as always, thank you so much for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thank you for not going anywhere and staying with us. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, stay informed. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about. A lot of great interviews, man. A lot of great interviews on tap for you all. It's midterm season. We got local races. We got state races. We got federal races. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So until next time, if you haven't done so yet, get out there, vote. Vote early if you have early voting in your areas, early primary voting. Get out there and vote. Just vote. Vote. Like it's like because your life does depend on voting. Okay, elections have consequences. Till next time.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.